Cloak Banshee is kind of like the new Hellbat drop of TVT.
Apparently so. In the top right-hand position as the red Terran, it is Taeja.
Liquid Taeja.
Liquid Taeja. And in the bottom left-hand corner, we have Axiom Heart. And again, as you said, Banshee's really powerful. We can talk about that a little bit. What you want to do is have your Banshees right here. And it puts your Marines in a really awkward position if you're relying on Marines to defend against this. Because think, you want your Marines over here, but then I can just move over this side, and if there's an expansion down here, I'm killing SCVs.
Plus, you can usually pick out Marines as soon as they come out of the barracks,
That's
too.
right.
Makes it even harder.
This is like the money place that you want to go to, and even on this map, you can go all the way down here and retreat, so you have a lot of good retreat paths. It's just a very troublesome place to be defending against Banshees. It can even wrap around, go into the main base. And same thing for the top location. We'll see if we actually get to that, as a Refinery first has started for Heart this time. And Taeja is the one going a barracks first into a Refinery.
Is Refinery first always a Cloak Banshee, do you know? I know it usually is, but I'm trying to think if I've seen games where people do this and then do
Roro
something
versus
else.
Innovation. Not Roro. Maru versus Innovation. He
was the Hellion drop thing?
Yeah,
off
Marine
of,
Hellion
gas
and then
first?
Proxy Starport.
Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah, you can do that. That's really like the only safe build, I think. The Banshee build, the technically safe build that you can do, where you're putting pressure on your opponent and you're defensive against most all-ins. I can't think of another situation. I mean, there's some really, really weird mine situations where you can do it, but I think everything else has a pretty hard counter.
Yeah.
Just because you're very light in Marines in the early stages, so you could potentially be in a little bit of trouble. But I think, surprisingly, the gas first builds perform a lot better over the 888s, because getting the Reapers are a great way to defend against any early game Reaper pressure. I just feel like they're the absolute counter, just because you can keep up in speed and at the same time just repair as well. Just bring in SCV, everything's okay. But what do you think? Are we going to see a Banshee coming out of Axiom Heart?
I would guess yes. Taeja, we'll have to see if he does a Cloak Banshee play or if he just wants to do a complete anti-Banshee build with maybe a Raven and a Viking. I mean, Heart's defense, it looked pretty good last game though. Although we were kind of questioning it a little bit with making that Cloak Banshee. I mean, it kind of helped that one of his Widow Mines took out the Banshee.
Yes,
but
I agree.
I think he could have still done it if he blew an extra scan, defended until the Raven came out. But
I am surprised of how that actually went down. I'm surprised that when you go racks first, you're actually opting to go Banshee, especially when you scout a gas first. But again, it's him showing his confidence, especially in TVT. And we were talking about it. You were talking about it, especially, Mike. You're saying Heart has a really good shot over here. I mean, he's been showing some fantastic TVT in the earlier stages of Premier League, and now he's showing it yet again.
the styles of TVT that are kind of the metagame now are the styles that Hart prefers to play. He likes these kind of 1-1-1 situations in Wings of Liberty. At one point, that was what he was known for, going 1-1-1 pretty much every TVP game. And he likes that in TVT as well, just to work off this one barracks, one factory, one starport, and rely on fine unit control
just
to win in the games.
That super crystal clear micro that you need to have that can honestly make you look like the biggest MVP ever and also shut you down at the same time. Now, Hart losing the Hellion doesn't really help out, but he gets a good scout in and sees everything that's going on.
I think he did see that cloak researching too from
Yes, he
Taeja,
did.
so that'll help him. Shouldn't be caught too off guard by that. And he's getting the Raven straight away. So I think Taeja's Banshees shouldn't be able to do too much. Hearts, we could see. We saw an excellent defense last game, but I mean, I don't see any Widow Mine set up to get any amazing shots off.
Well,
there's one by the mineral line, but I don't think the Banshee's going to wander over that one.
Well, maybe.
We'll
find out, because it looks like it's going directly over there.
Yeah. I mean, but when it gets close to the mineral line, you're usually looking at your Banshee. Good dodge. I thought that mine was about to go off.
Whoa. When did you just attack?
If the mine's in mid-shot and you cloak, does it miss or hit?
It hits for AoE. So it doesn't do the full damage. Over here, we can see the Banshee going to micro against the Marines. Now, this is what we're talking about. Taeja also very powerful with his Banshee, but he might lose it. Oh my goodness. That's normally a situation where I've seen Taeja just micro the Marines and win.
Yeah.
But, I mean, Heart's reaction was perfect.
Yeah. It was definitely a good reaction, just realizing that an auto turret there finished off. It's always the worst thing if you just waste the energy on that Raven.
Oh, yeah.
Because it's always utilized for early pushes to like double Hunter Seeker Missile. You can't do that if you wasted the energy.
Yeah, double Hunter Seeker Missile is a free siege tank, right? Like you're basically getting something for nothing,
Unless
which is
they
great.
have the micro of Major.
That's true.
Rescue it, but we'll have to see.
That is, you have a medevac, you can just unsiege it, pick it up really quickly, and you're good to go. But even that, you can. Well, I wouldn't actually say. I was about to say you can Hunter Seeker Missile the medevac, but it could just boost away. So I guess not. Anyway, very passive play coming out from both these players. Both of them are doing very similar builds. One siege tank each, one Viking each, one Raven each. Banshees. They used to have Banshees each, but not anymore. Orbital command centers are being started. Now we can see barracks being thrown down. So we're going to see a much more standard game this time around. No 15-minute stim timings, Mike.
Yeah, it's almost mirrored so far. The one advantage Hart will have, I guess, is that he's up several SCVs, and he also has his 2 barracks building quicker. It's not that big of a lead. Definitely not game-ending at all.
No, not at all. And he has the Banshee. I mean, the Banshee's still being alive helps out a little bit later on. You can do good damage while some sort of push is happening. It's kind of that trigger, like, oh, he's pushing out. Let's just send my Banshee in. Maybe he didn't make a turret. I'm going to be in a good position. Scan goes down.
I wonder if either of them are going to attempt to push sometime. Usually when you make a lot of Marines and tanks early and delay your upgrades, one of the players will go for kind of a poke with your siege tank Marine. And I think if we saw that, we'd see it from Hart, maybe, because he still has his Banshee, and that'll help him a lot.
And Hart is bold. He just does stuff like that. It doesn't matter if he's behind in siege tanks even. I've seen him do stuff like that.
Shadow of the cloaked Banshee?
No.
When it's cloaked in this map, the shadow is like light blue on the ground.
Really?
Like the same shade as the cloak. It was interesting.
I don't know how to respond to that, Mike. That is cool. But from here, I mean... I'm trying to think what Taeja is, his plan overall. I think he's just macroing normally.
He has the faster +1.
He does. Not the faster stim, though, as we were talking about the barracks timing. We're just going to wait until these players pick the positions. Now, it's going to be up to Hart to actually reclaim some position. He has to realize that, okay, my opponent right now is taking map control. I need to take my own map control, and he's going to do that a little bit differently. Not put his army out on the map, rather be very defensive with his siege tanks, and then try to back attack. And this is basically saying, well, if you ever push out, I'm going to be in a position where I can just simply... drop you and do an immeasurable amount of damage. Oh. And the push-in is coming. Yeah, this is really bold. Oh, Hart needs to siege up immediately. And thankfully, Stim isn't up because Taeja might have been able to punish. But this double medevac trap is going to do a lot of damage here. And Taeja has nothing back at home to defend this. Maybe a Widow Mine. A siege tank just popped out, so that'll help out. But he's going to at least lose a couple of units. Stim has been initiated. Stim is finished.
This is huge.
This is huge. He's going to be able to take out the siege tank SCVs.
3 Marines. It's 16 Marines against 3 in his main base.
And Taeja looks at this and says, I have to go in. Double Seeker Missiles, one of the siege tanks, but it's just too much. There it is, GG. Hart will move on, ladies and gentlemen. And